श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। वागीशाद्याः सुमनसः सर्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यन्नत्वा कृतकृत्यास्यस्तन्नमामि गजाननं। शारदा शारदाम्भोजवदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं क्रियात्। प्रमाणनखनिर्भिन्नमहामोहामरारये नमस्कुर्मो नृसिंहाय स्वप्रकाशचात्मने। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्कारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किङ्करीयस्य सामाया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये। प्रह्लादवरदो देवो यो नृसिंहः परो हरिः नृसिंहोपासकं नित्यं तन्नृसिंहगुरुं भजे। श्रीसच्चिदानन्दशिवाभिनव्यनृसिंहभारत्यभिधान्यतीन्द्रान् विद्यानिधीन् मन्त्रनिधीन् सदात्मनिष्ठान् भजे मानवशम्भुरूपान्। सदात्मध्याननिरतं विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखं नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखरभारतीं। विवेकिनं महाप्रज्ञं धैर्यौदार्यक्षमानिधिं सदाभिनवपूर्वं तं विद्यातीर्थगुरुं भजे। अज्ञानाञ्जाह्नवीतीर्थं विद्यातीर्थं विवेकिनां सर्वेषां सुखदं तीर्थं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये। विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। उद्भवस्थितिसंहारकारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभाम्। महाव्याकरणां बोधिमन्थमानसमन्दरं कवयन्तं रामकीर्त्या हनूमन्तमुपास्महे। वाल्मीकेर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति पराङ्गतिं। यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम्। Namaskaram everyone. With namaskars to the Padapadmas of Ubhaya Jagadgurus, to Sharadamba and Ramachandra. We will be finishing up the Kacchit Sarga today, as we discussed yesterday. तपस्वाध्यायनिरतं तपस्वी वाग्विदाम्बरं नारदं परिपप्रच्छ वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गवम्. So yesterday we talked about various things, and now Rama is asking, and by asking, instructing Bharata on how the kingdom should be ruled. So Bharata has come to Rama in Chitrakuta. Dasharatha has passed away, and Rama has assumed, because Rama does not yet know that Dasharatha is no longer in this world. He is assuming that Bharata is ruling the kingdom and that he has come to just see Rama. So Rama is asking Bharata whether he is ruling in certain ways, whether he is ruling properly, and Bharata is giving the answers appropriately as and when needed. Bharata does not speak in this sarga; he speaks in the next sarga, in the next few sargas. But this is just Rama asking Bharata whether or not he is ruling properly in accordance with dharma and rajaniti. So now Rama is asking about how Ayodhya is doing. वीरैरध्यषतां पूर्वमस्माकं तातपूर्वकैः सत्यनामां दृढद्वारां हस्त्यश्वरथसङ्कुलां ब्राह्मणैः क्षत्रियैर्वैश्यैः स्वकर्मनिरतैः सदा यतेन्द्रियैर्महोत्साहैः कृतामार्यैः सहस्रशः प्रासादैर्विविधाकारैः कृतां वैद्यजनाकुलां कच्चित् समुदितां स्फीतामयोध्यां परिरक्षसि. Are you ruling over Ayodhya, which is Samudita and Sphita? Samudita means Prasiddha, that which has attained fame and renown. Sphita means Samriddha, that which is bountiful. It is not lacking in anything. So how is Ayodhya? Veerair Adhyushatam Purvam. Is it surrounded by proper warriors, by valorous people? Satyanamam. Is it living up to its name? Rama is asking Bharata whether Ayodhya is living up to its name. What is Ayodhya? Yodhum Ashakya Ayodhya. Yodhum Ayogya Ayodhya. That which is unassailable, that which you cannot even hope to attack, that which is unconquerable is Ayodhya. So Rama is asking Satyanamam. Is Ayodhya living up to its name? Is Ayodhya still as secure as it was before? Dridhadvaram. Are all of its entrances and gates well protected? Hastyashvaratha Sankulam. So back then, right, we had the four limbs of the army, the Chaturanga Bala, which were elephants, horses, means horseback mounted warriors, chariots, and foot soldiers. So those were the Chaturanga. So Hasti Ashwa Ratha Sankulam. Is it bountiful with elephants, horses, and chariots? Brahmanaihi Kshatriyer Vaishye Sakarma Niratais Sada Jitendriyer Mahotsahehi Aryehi Vritam. Is it accompanied by people of all professions who are doing their job? Sakarma Nirataihi, who are diligently doing their job. Jitendriyehi, who have all conquered their senses. Mahotsahi, who are all very enthusiastic. And Aryehi, who are all noble. So there is really no difference in job or jati in this shloka we see here. It is necessary for a society to grow that all divisions of the society be prosperous, all divisions of the society be noble, and all divisions of the society be dutiful in their professions. Prasadehi vividhakarehi. So, are all the buildings or are the constructions still there? Vaidya Janakulam, are the medical facilities proper in the kingdom? Is Ayodhya in such a way? Then he asks, Kacchit Chaityashatair Jushtaha Sannivishta Janakulaha Devasthanev Prapabhishchatata Kaishchopashobhitaha Prabhinna Naranarikaha Samajotsavashobhitaha Sukrishta Sima Pashuman Himsabhif Parivarjitaha Adeva Matruko Ramyaha Shwapatah Parivarjitaha परित्यक्तो भयैः सर्वैः खनिभिश्चोपशोभितः विवर्जितो नरैः पापैः मम पूर्वैः सुरक्षितः कच्चिज्जनपदः स्फीतः सुखं वसति राघव. Janapadah Sphitaha Sukham Vasati Kachita. The Janapada is usually the countryside, but we can take it to even mean the general, the nation, the land of the country, of the state. So, how should the land of the state be? Chaitya Shatayar Jushtaha. A Chaitya is a Yajna Bhumi. So, where Chiti happens is a Chaitya. Chiti is the Yajna Vati. So, the Kunda wherein the Yajna Agni is there is called Chiti. That is that which has that is a Chaitya. So, a Chaitya is a yajna sthana, a place that has been set aside for doing yajnas. So are those still bountiful in the country? Devasthanehi, are there devalayas, are the temples of the country being respected properly? Prapabhihi, prapa is places where you get water. So are all the water sources there? Tatakaihi, lakes, are all of those still there in the country? Prabhinna nara narikaha samajotsava shobhitaha, are all the men and women happy? And is the society happy as a whole? Samaja Utsava Shobhitaha. Sukrishta Sima, is agriculture doing well? Krishi is agriculture. Sukrishta Sima. So means is the land, is it being harvested properly? Or are you tilling the land properly? Is the land being used appropriately for agriculture? Pashuman, do you have proper livestock? Horses, cattle, cows, cattle, mainly cattle and goats and things like that. Are those all bountiful? Himsa if parivartitaha. There are not too many krura jantus, right? There are not too many ferocious animals. So leopards or tigers are not falling on the people and troubling them, right? Adeva matrakaha means nadi matrakaha, are all the rivers flowing bountifully. Shvapadev parivarjita parityaktaha bhaye sarvaihi. Is it free of all calamities, of anything that may cause the people agitation? Sarvaihi khanivishchopashobhitaha. Do you have proper mines and places to obtain ores and metals? Right, so that is very important for the king, especially because uh, the Kautilya says if you don't have the capital needs to be in a certain distance from the mines, because you will get, for example, copper, gold, and silver from the mines, and they immediately need to be brought to the capital to be minted into coins. Because we have been using coins for a while. I mean India. India has been using coins for a while, which is why we have been calling money rupyakas. Rupyakas means Ropya dhatu is silver, because a rupa would be stamped on it. So that which is minted is a rupyaka, right? So in that way, we've been using metals especially for coins for a while. So it is important that the sources of those metal be protected and be kept close to the capital. So are you taking care of all of those? Vivarjito naraif papaihi. So is it bereft of criminals? Mama Purvai Surakshataha. This because this country has been protected by my predecessors, all of the kings of the past. So Kacchit Janapada Sphita Sukham Vasati Raghava. So is the countryside like this, or is the general land of the country in this particular way? कच्चित्ते दयिताः सर्वे कृषिगोरक्षजीविनः वार्तायां संस्थितस्तात लोको हि सुखमेधते. So are all the people that live off of agriculture and livestock rearing. So are all of those people dear to you? Are you dear to them? Do you have good relations with them? Krishi Goraksha Jivinaha. And Vartayam Samstitaha Lokaha. And the Lokaha means the populace. Loka does not mean the world. In terms of this, Loka, Prakriti, they do not mean the world or nature, but they mean the subjects, the denizens of a country, the citizens of a state. So are they all conducting business properly? Their business transactions, are those all proper? तेषां गुप्तपरिहारेः कच्चित्ते भरणं कृतं रक्ष्या हि राज्ञा धर्मेण सर्वे विषयवासिनः. Hmm. So here Gupti means protection. Parihara means ways to remove troubles. So Tesham means of the Loka and of the agricultural, what do you call it? The people that are living off of agriculture. So are you looking after them and getting rid of their troubles by appointing the proper officials there? Rakshyahi Rajnya Dharmayana Sarve Vishaya Satvinaha. Vishaya means the territory that the king owns. That is called the Vishaya. The Desha is called the Vishaya. So remember that Sarve Vishayavasanaha Rakshaha. You should not overlook anyone, not just agriculture, not business, not trading. It does not matter who they are. You should not overlook any people that live within your territory. कच्चित् स्त्रियः सान्त्वयसि कच्चित्तास्ते सुरक्षिताः कच्चिन्न शब्दधास्यासां कच्चित् गुह्यन्न भाषसे. Are you looking after the women of both of the kingdom and also of the king's family specifically? And are you making sure that you are keeping them happy and you are protecting them? Santvayasi, making them happy, and surakshitaha, that you are also keeping them well protected. And make sure that you do not tell them secrets. That is another thing, because there is a saying in Telugu, "Pedavi datite, prithvi datatundi." If it crosses the lip, it will cross the earth. So make sure that you do not fall prey to your senses and let the secrets slip loose around women. कच्चिन्नागवनं गुप्तं कच्चित्ते सन्ति धेनुकाः कच्चिन्न गणिकाश्वानां कुञ्जराणां च तृप्यसि कच्चिन्न गणिकाश्वानां कुञ्जराणां च तृप्यसि. So there used to be many forests set aside in the olden days. So Nagavana, Dravyavana, there are many things. There are some forests that are set aside for the sake of getting timber and other uh, resources. Those are Dravyavanas. Then there are Mragavanas, which are set aside for wildlife preservation. So what we have, what we're calling zoos today used to be even there in BC, a few centuries BC. So you have Mragavanas, wherein just animals are set aside there to be protected, conservation wise. And then there are Nagavanas, because back then, as we said, the four limbs of the army, um, elephants are the most important. Elephants were basically the equivalent of tanks back then. They were massive, and if you had enough of them, that could be the difference between winning a war or not. Right? Even if we're looking at Vijayanagara, we say that Krishnadevaraya was very successful because his Gajabala was very strong. So in that same way, because of that, there were certain forests set aside solely to breed elephants. These were called Nagavanas. Naga means elephant. So these are called Nagavanas. So he's asking, Kachin Nagavanam Guptam. Have you been looking after the elephant forests? Kachitte santi dhenukaha. Dhenukaha does not mean cows here. Dhenuka is Karini, Dhenuka, Vashya, an elephant, specifically a female elephant that has been tamed, is called a Dhenuka. So the way that they used to capture elephants is then either by male elephants or by female elephants, they would trap another elephant. In some cases, they would use the female elephant to lure the male elephants, because the male will be looking for the female during certain times of the year. So they would use the female elephant to lure the male, and those females would be domesticated and tamed already. So Kacchitte Santi Dhenukar, do you have female elephants by which you can then obtain male elephants for war? Because generally speaking, you would not use female elephants for war. Kachinna Ganikashvanam Kunjaranancha Tripyasi. Hopefully you are not content with Ganikas, Ashwas and Kunjaras. Usually Ganika means Veshya, prostitute. But here Ganika, Veshya, Karanyor, Ganika. This is the Vaijayanti Kosha. So the word Ganika has two meanings. It means Veshya, but it also means Karani, as we said, female elephants. So hopefully you are not content with the number of female elephants, male elephants, and horses that you have. That is one thing he is asking. Kacchit darshayase nityam manushyanam vibhoshitam utthayottaya Purvanhe Rajaputra Mahapathe. Hopefully, you are seen by your subjects. You are seen by your people on the Mahapathe, on the main highway, or on the Rajamarga. Hopefully, you are seen Vibhoshitaha. Hopefully, you are seen bedecked in all the jewels that befit a king, and walking in the mornings on that path. So the point here being is, when the king is seen in public, he should be presentable. He should be Vibhoshita. Right? If the king is sitting there looking like he doesn't have two pennies to rub together, that will reflect very poorly on the country and does not inspire hope in the people. So, are you making sure that you are appearing to the people in proper regal attire? Then Kacchid Darshayase, that we have done. Kachinna Sarve Karmantaha Pratyakshaste Vishankaya Sarve Va Punarutsrishtaha Madhyamevatra Karanam. So hopefully all your karmantas, all the people that work around you, right? We'll see in movies, the king hits the bell, someone will come. The king hits the bell, someone will come bearing something. People in those jobs are karmantas. So hopefully they're all pratyakshaste avishankaya na. They should not be standing in front of you all proud and without any fear. They should have a healthy fear. They should have a healthy, respectful fear when they come into your presence. And punarutsrishta, they should not be running away from you. So they should not have avishankaya pratyaksha. They should not be in front of you all bold and prideful, but they should also not be running away from you whenever they see you. Madhyameva atra karanam. They should be in the middle here. They should they should be in the they should not be too dear. They should not be too comfortable around you, and they should not be too scared of you. You should adopt a path of temperament. You should have a moderate path amidst these two. Kacchit Sarvani Durgani Dhanadhanya Ayudhodakaihi Yantraisha Paripurnani Tathashil Vidhanardharaihi. So now he is asking about the forts. Are your forts all accompanied with Dhana, Dhanya, Ayudha, Udaka, Yantra, Shilpi, Dharudhara? So, do you have Dhana? Do they have the proper wealth? Dhanya, do they have enough grains, rations? Do they have enough Udaka? Do they have enough water? Yantra, do they have enough machinery? Do they have enough Shilpis, architects? Do they have enough Dharudharas, warriors? So basically everything that a fort would need to be sieged. When it is sieged, you will need money, you will need food, you will need water, you will need yantras and shilpis, you will need machines and architects in case if the fort sustains some damages during a battle, during a siege, you should be able to rebuild it. So you'll need builders, architects, and yantras and dhanurtaras. Obviously, you'll need warriors. आयस्ते विपुलः कच्चिदल्पतरो व्ययः अपात्रेषु नते कच्चित् कोशो गच्छति राघव. Kosha is the treasury, and by kosha they refer to the wealth of the treasury. Obviously, not the room that you're keeping the wealth in. So he's asking, Ayaste vipulaha, is your collections, hopefully your collections, the money that is coming into the treasury should be vast. And alpataro vyayaha, you should be spending as little as possible. Vyaya is spending. Aya is the money that accounts receivable. Aya, accounts payable. Vyaya. Apatresha nade kachit kosho gachiti raghava. Hopefully you are not wasting your treasury on unbefitting people or tasks. Apatra. Devata. And so what are the befitting tasks? He is saying now. Devatarthe cha pitrathe brahmana bhyagateshu cha yodheshu mitra vargeshu kachit gachati te vyayaha. So what should you be spending on? Devatarthe. For Daivakaryas, for Devalayas, for temples and all of that, you should be spending there. Pitrarthe, for Pitrakaryas. Then Brahmanebhyaha, to scholars, to the intelligentsia, right? To the to the academia. Then Abhyagateshu cha, to those people that are visiting, to guests. Yodheshu, to your soldiers, to your armies. Mitravargeshu, to your allies. So your expenditure should be split amongst these people. Gachati te vyayaha. कच्चिदार्यो विशुद्धात्मा अक्षारितश्चापकर्मणा अपृष्टशस्त्रकुशलैः न लोभाद्वध्यते शुचिः. Hopefully, now we are coming to the part where he is asking about how the justice system is working. So he's saying, hopefully, you are not killing certain people without proper course. So if you have someone that is Arya, Vishuddhatma, pure of heart, Apakarmana Aksharitaha, who is Aksharitaha, who has been accused of a crime. Aprishtaha lobhat na vadhyase. He is not being killed without due process, right? So if you have someone that is generally said to have a good character, that is known to have a good character, and he has been accused of something, hopefully you are not killing him, or you're not sentencing him to death. You're not giving him you're not passing the death sentence without proper investigation. गृहीतश्चैव पृष्टश्च काले दृष्टः सकारणः कच्चिन्न मुच्यते चोरः धनलोभात् नरर्षभात्. Hopefully you are not accepting bribes from criminals. Grihitaha, once the criminal is caught, prishtaha, interrogated, kale drishtaha, seen at the time of the crime, sakaranaha, with probable cause also. Hope if he falls into any of these, hopefully you're not just with dhanalobha, hopefully due to greediness, you're not just getting paid off and letting such criminals go. So that is one thing that Rama is asking. Vyasane kachidadhyasya durgatasya cha raghava artham viragav pashyanti tava matya bahushvataha. This is a very noble thing that Rama is asking. So adhyasya durgatasya vyasane. When a what do you call a wealthy man and a poverty stricken man, a poor man, are facing each other in court, hopefully the people that you set, the amatyas, the ministers and the judges that you set for that case are viragas. Hopefully they are bereft of any prejudice. And viragaha artham pashyanti. Hopefully they are looking at the subject on hand, bereft of any pakshapata, without any likes or dislikes, bereft of any partiality or prejudice. So it is a reminder that when you are in court, it doesn't not matter if you're a politician or a normal person, if you're wealthy or poor. The vichara, right, the legal proceedings need to be unbiased. So Rama is asking about that. Yani mithya, and why Rama then says why he is being so he is so intent on making sure that people are not harmed without cause, right? We saw that do not harm a dharmatma without asking him first. Make sure that you do not let criminals go. Make sure that you do not wrong poor people when they go to court against wealthy people. So why the cause of such care is being told now. यानि मिथ्याभिशस्तानां पतन्त्यश्रूणि राघव तानि पुत्र पशोन्घ्रन्ति प्रीत्यर्थमनुशासतः. So anushasatah prityartham, just over the whims of the ruler, or the ruler, if mithyabhishastanam, those people who are wrongly accused, the tesham yani ashruni, the tears that fall from the eyes of someone wrongly accused and sentenced, putra pashu anushasataha putra pashun granti, they will destroy the family and the wealth of the person that is ruling, that is responsible for that decision, for that outcome, for that what do you call, for that holding, for that holding. So if you wrongly accuse someone, sentence them, and they are hurt by that, the tears that fall from someone that is innocent of a crime but yet has been sentenced due to that crime, those tears will destroy the family and the sampat, the wealth of the person that is ruling. Kacchit vriddhanscha balamscha vadhyamukhyamscha raghava danena manasa vacha tribhireva bubhushase. Hopefully you are making sure that the vriddhas, the elders, balas, the young people, and Vaidyamukhya, the doctors. Hopefully, you are making sure that they are happy by three means. Danena, by giving them subsidies. Manasa, by being dear to them. Vacha, by speaking nicely with them. Hopefully, by these three means of dana, of speaking nicely, behaving nicely, and giving them whatever it is that they need in those amounts of time. Hopefully, you are keeping the elderly population, the child population, and the population that is engaged in medical professions happy. Kacchit gurunshcha vruddhamshcha tapasan devatathin chaityanshcha sarvan siddharthan brahmanashcha namasyasi. Hopefully you are paying your respects to your teachers, your elders, ascetics, devatas, your guests, chaityanshcha, to places where yajnas are going on. Hopefully you are paying your respects to all of those people. कच्चिदर्थेन वा धर्मम् अर्थं धर्मेण वा पुनः उभौ वा प्रतिलोभेन काम्येन च न वेधसे न बाधसे. So hopefully you are not getting rid of one thing for another. So hopefully you do not overlook artha. Artha is material prosperity, dharma is righteousness. Hopefully you are not letting go of artha for the sake of dharma, nor dharma for artha, or both of these for kama. Hopefully, basically it means I hope you are balancing dharma, artha and kama. Dharma is righteousness, or you can even take it as religious duty. Artha, wealth, right? The means by which you can obtain whatever it is you want. Kama is the things that you want, right? So dharma sanchitah artha, artha sanchitah kamaha. So by means of dharma you obtain artha, by means of artha you fulfill your dharmika kamas. So hopefully these three, you're not focusing, you're not letting go of the other two for the sake of one. So you should not be so focused on dharma that artha and kama are ignored. You should not be so focused on kama that dharma and artha are ignored. In this way, you should be balancing the three. कच्चिदर्थञ्च धर्मञ्च कामञ्च जयतां वर विभज्य काले कालज्ञ सर्वान् वरद सेवसे. So hopefully there are some matters in a king's life and in the purview of a king. There will be some matters that pertain to artha, some matters that pertain to dharma, some matters that pertain to kama. Hopefully you divide your time appropriately to look after these three as needed. कच्चित्ते ब्राह्मणाः शर्म सर्वशास्त्रार्थको विदाः आशंसन्ते महाप्राज्ञ पौरजानपदैः सह. Hopefully your people, right, the people living in rural areas, in urban areas, and brahmanas that are well versed in all the shastras, hopefully they are all wishing your fortune. They are all wishing that you are safe and happy, because their ashirvada, the blessings of the people and the blessings of brahmanas, will ensure that you stay hale, happy, and that you are able to rule properly. Then चतुर्दश राजदोषान् चतुर्दश वर्जयसे. Hopefully you are not falling privy to the 14 ills of a king. So the 14 doshas, the 14 blemishes that a king can have, hopefully you are letting go of those. What are those 14? Nastikyam, so disbelief or not following the Vedas and Shastras. Anratam, falsehood, krodham, anger, pramadam, inattentiveness, dirghasutratam, delaying things. Ardarshanam, not paying attention to things. Adarshanam, jnanavatam, not paying attention to people that know issues and advise you on issues. Alasyam, laziness. Panchavrittitam, Panchavrittita are five things. So Nrittadihi, Chakshuradi, Panchendriya Vrittivihi. So you do not, the being prone to the sense pleasures, Panchavrittita, Ekachintanam Arthanam, only thinking about one thing to do, or only thinking about the things to do in one way, not looking at things from many angles, or not looking at more than one task to do. So being too narrow-minded and single-minded. Anarthagnaishcha Mantranam, consulting with people that are not adept in what they are doing. Nishchitanam anarambham, not starting tasks that you have decided to do. So once you have decided, okay, this is the agenda, these are the tasks that need to be put in place, not doing those. Mantrasya aparirakshanam, not keeping your plans and your stratagems secret. Mangaladya prayogancha, so you should be doing certain mangala things. Like, for example, the other day when the Rashtra Bhavana was inaugurated, Rashtrapati Bhavana was inaugurated, we did the Bhumi Puja there, right? The Archakas and the Vidwans from Sringeri went there and did the Bhumi Puja. So such mangala karyas need to be done every now and then. Pratyuthanancha sarvashaha, respecting your elders. Pratyuthan literally means getting up, but it means respecting your elders. Sorry. Sarvashav Pratyuthanam, giving undue respect to everyone. So there are some people that you will do Pratyuthanam for, elders, teachers, mother, father. There are some people that you should do pratyuthanam for. You should not do that for everyone. If a king walks in, when a sevaka walks in, if the king starts standing up, the king will not be as respected in the kingdom. So therefore, you should know giving too much respect to everyone that you see. These 14 are the doshas of a king that I hope you are not implementing. Then comes one more shloka. The next two, three shlokas are all technical terms of the Arthashastra. Dasha, Pancha, Chaturvargan, Saptavargan, Tatvata, Ashtavargan, Trivargan, Vidyaha, Tisraschara, Ghava. This is a list of things that you should be knowing. Indriyanan Jayam Buddha, Shadgunyam, Taiva Manusham, Krityam Vimshati Vargan, Tatha, Prakriti Mandalam. यात्रा दंड विधानंच द्वियोनि संधि विग्रहो कच्चिदेतान् महाप्राज्ञ यथावदनु मन्यसे. So are you looking after all of these things properly? What are these? So first, dasha. There are 10 things that you need to know. So these 10 things are the 10 what do you say? The 10 faults or the 10 flaws that a king can get due to excessive desire. So one of those is mrigaya, hunting. Akshaha, gambling, dice. Divas swapnaha, sleeping during the day. Parivadaha, getting into arguments. Striyo madaha, parivadaha, scandals. Striyo madaha, being, what do you say, delighting with women too much. Striyaha, madaha, drinking too much. Tauryatrikam, the three, Nritta, Gita, Vadya. So dancing, instruments, singing, and these are all good arts, but the king should not be so engrossed in them that he forgets everything else. Then vrithatya, roaming around, so doing vihara, just roaming and sporting around way too much. So these are all kama jodashako gunaha manu. This is from Manusmriti, this shloka. So these are 10 qualities that are born kamaja, that are born due to excessive desire, that a king should not have. Then pancha. Then there are 5 things, 5 forts, that 5 types of forts that you should be looking over. Audakam parvatam varksham airinam dhanvanam tatha iti durgam panchavidha panchavarga udahritaha. So there are 5 durgas, 5 types of forts. These are audakam, jaladurgas, the forts in the water that are encircled by water. Parvatam, then Parvata Durgas, forts that are built atop mountains or amidst mountain ranges. Varksham, Vanadurga, these are Vanadurgas. So forests that are built in jungles, forts that are built in jungles. Then Airinam, these are things that are built on plains, like savannas, grasslands, plains, forts that are built on plains. Then Dhanvanam, forts that are built in deserts. These 5 forts are called the Panchavarga. Hopefully you are looking at these too well. Saptavarganja. Dasha Pancha Chaturvargan. Sorry, Chaturvargan is next. Chaturvargan. The 4-fold things are Samadana, Bheda, Dandopayas. Sama. So how to win over an enemy. Sama, being nice to him, being making a cordial effort. Samadana, by giving him something. Bheda, by causing fights within the enemy's side. So the enemy fights with people within their own ranks. Internal dissent. Danda, going and straight away, what do you say? Fighting or going down to actual dandana, yuddha. So these are the 4-fold, Chaturvarga. Then Saptavarga, the 7 things that you need to do. The 7 parts of the state. So there are 7, the state is divided into 7 parts. So are you looking after those? These are Swamyamatyascha Rashtrancha Durga Kosho Balam Suhrita Parasparopakaridam Rajyam Saptangam Uchyate. So a kingdom is said to have 7 limbs or 7 parts, 7 angas, 7 limbs of the kingdom are Swami, the Adhikaris, Amatyascha, Adhikaris means the officials, elected officials. Amatya, ministers, Rashtrancha, Swamyamatyascha, Rashtrancha, the actual land itself, Durga, forts, Kosha, the treasury, Balam, the army, Suhrit, allies. So these are the 7 parts of the kingdom that you need to be looking after. And then Ashtavarga, right? Saptavargascha Tattvataha Ashtavargam in the shloka. So what is the Ashtavarga? These are all. So earlier we talked about the flaws that are born of too much kama, too much desire. These are now the flaws that are born of krodha. 8 flaws are born of krodha that you should not have. Paishunyam, being miserly. Sahasam, hot-headedness. So doing something without thinking about it. Droham, betraying someone. Irshya, being jealous. Asuya, asuya means asuya and irsha are different. Irshya means being jealous of someone. Asuya means seeing gunas, seeing doshas even in gunas. So someone else has a good quality, but due to the anger towards that person, you consider it as a bad quality. So that is asuya. Artha dushanam, always cursing things, always cursing people. Vagdandayosh chaparshyam, being very harsh speech, and dandaparishyam, giving two harsh punishments. Right, in the constitution you'll have the government cannot do what they call cruel and unusual punishment. That is dandaparishyam. You should not do that. These are all krodhajopi ashtaguna, krodhajopi gunoshtakaha. These are all the 8 qualities that are born of anger that the king should avoid. Then after that, Ashtavargan, Trivargancha, Trivargancha, the Trivarga is Dharma Artha Kamas, which we have spoken about in length earlier. Then Vidyas Tisraha, 3 Vidyas. So Trayi Varta, Dandanitihi. There are 3 Vidyas that are very important for a king. This is how the Arthashastra also starts. He divides it into these 3 and then explains each one. Trayi means all the Vedic Vidyas, Vedas, Vedangas, all of that. Varta means things dealing with money. So mercantile issues, the kosha, the treasury, how to do business. All of that is varta. And Dandaniti is the legal administration, the legal system. So lawmaking, protecting the law, the justice system, right? How to punish people that have transgressed the law. So all of that is Dandaniti. So these 3 are Vidyas, Tisraschara, Dhava, Indriyanam, Jayam Buddha. Are you also keeping in mind how to conquer the senses? Short Gunyam. The short Gunyam or 6 qualities that you need to have, or 6 ways that you need to deal with an enemy. So these are Sandharna, Vigraho, Yanam, Asanam, Vaidhamashraya. These are the ways that you should behave with an enemy kingdom. So one of these is Sandhi, means allying with them. Then Vigraha, so breaking off what do you call cordial relations with them. Yanam, marching on them. You don't actually fight them, but you start marching on them, due to which they become scared, and then they come around to your way. They agree with you. They accept what you say. Yanam, asanam, just sitting, waiting, biding your time until your position is better than the enemy's position. Dvaidham, causing dissent within the enemy's ranks. Ashrayaha, seeking out a different ally that is more powerful than the enemy. So your enemy will have more strength than you, which is why you cannot do any of the things before said. So in such a case, you will seek an ally that is more powerful than your enemy. So that is the ashraya, the sandhi. Peace treaty, vigraha, breaking off of peace treaties, yanam, marching on the enemy, asanam, waiting, biding your time, dvaidham, causing dissent within the enemy's ranks, and ashraya. Ashraya is seeking refuge in them. Then Daiva Manusham, Daiva Vyasanas and Manusha Vyasanas. They're called Vyasanas, calamities. So some calamities are Daiva, they are brought about by fate. Some are Manushas, they are brought about by people. What are the Daiva Vyasanas? Hutashano Jalam Vyadhi, Durbhiksham, Marakastatha. These are the Daiva Vyadhis. So Hutashana, Agni Pramadas, right? Forest fires, fires that burn cities. Jalam, things related to water, rivers overflow, tsunamis, things like that. Jalam. Vyadhi, so certain rogas that are contained in one place. Now there is a difference. Why I'm saying that? Durbhiksham, drought, right? If it doesn't rain, there is nothing the king can do about that. Marakaha is a mahammari. A mahammari it is called, right? Plagues, epidemics. So vyadhis are just general diseases, but maraka is on a different level. Giant things like epidemics, COVID, the Great Plague that swept through Europe, the bubonic plague that swept through Europe during the Dark Ages, all of that. So those are all maraka. So these are the daiva vyasanas, the calamities that are brought upon a kingdom due to fate. Right? If a forest fire occurs, what can a king do about it? If it doesn't rain, what can a king do about it? If there's a drought, what can a king do? So that is all one thing. Then there are there are manusha vyasanas. There are things brought about by humans. What are those? Ayuktakebhyaschorebhyah parebhyo rajavallabhat prithivipatilobhat vyasanam manusham tvidam. So ayuktakebhyah, by elected officials, there will be some, and this is just not troubles that will be caused to the king, troubles that exist in the kingdom. So the people may be plagued by ayuktakebhyah, by officials. Then chorebhyaha, by robbers, by thieves. parebhyaha, by enemy kingdoms, Raja Vallabhat, by people that are dear to the king, right? So the king will have some friends and he will be walking around with the assurance that I am dear to the king, so no one can do anything to me. So people like that may sometimes end up oppressing the people or causing troubles for the people. Raja Vallabhat Prithivi Pati Lobhacha, if the king is a greedy fellow, he will be taking more than he gives the people. So if the king is greedy, if the king has lobha, then also it will be calamitous to the people. But all of these things are human error. These are all things that are born of humans. You cannot say, oh no, it did not rain today, so no crops. These are not calamities that occur in that way. These are calamities that occur due to human error, due to human weaknesses and human transgressions. So they are once again troubles due to officials, troubles from thieves, troubles due to enemies, troubles due to people that are dear to the king, troubles from the king himself if he is greedy. Shadgunyam Daivamansham, then Krityam Vimshati Vargancha. Sorry, Krityam. There is one Varga called a Kritya Varga. So a Varga that either you need to kill or make happy. You need to either get rid of them or make them happy. And these are four people. Alabdhave Tano Lubdha Mani Chapyavamanitah Kriddhascha Kopito Kasmat Tatha Bhitascha Bhishatah Bhedya Shastrais Chatvarah Dripakritya Vidam Matam Dripakritya. So something that a king should do. He should either kill them or make them happy with gifts. So who are these four people? First is Alabdhave Tanolubdha. So out of your officials, right, the employees of the king, someone that is greedy and has not gotten their pay. So if already they're greedy, if they have not gotten their pay, they will go against the king. So the king should either get rid of such a fellow or make sure that he is happy. Then in the same way, Mani Chapyavamanita, someone that has a lot of pride and self-respect and that has been Avamanita, someone that has been, what do you call, looked down upon, or someone that has suffered an insult and has a lot of self-respect or is very prideful and haughty. Someone like that, they will also turn against the king. So you should make them also happy. Then, someone that is naturally angry, they have an angry tendency, they have a tendency to be angry, and they are angry over something insignificant. Akasmat Kopita, Akasmat Kopita, someone that is already prone to anger, and on top of that, some very insignificant thing has pricked him and he is now very angry. Someone like that. And the last one is Bhitascha Bhishitaha, a coward that has been made to be afraid. So basically, a coward that is being threatened. Because even if he is loyal, if he is a coward and he is being threatened, he will go against the king and commit treason. So all four of these people are people who have natural bad tendencies, but due to even more circumstances could be even more dangerous for the king. Someone that is greedy, but does not have but has not gotten their salary, that has not gotten their salary. Someone that is haughty, that is prideful and has been insulted. Someone that is very angry, that is angry over something that is not very significant, and someone that is cowardly, that is being threatened. These four people are very dangerous to a king. So the king should either get rid of them or make sure that these situations do not come up. Then Krityam Vimshati Vargancha. There are 20 types of kings told in Kamandaka Niti Shastra that are not, you should not even bother negotiating with them. You can directly go and conquer them. There are 20 types of kings with whom even Sandhi, peace talks, you do not need to look for treaties and all of that. You do not even need to look for diplomatic relations. Those kings will be so weak that you can directly march on their kingdom and conquer them. So what are those 20 types of kings? Balaha, a king that is too young. Vruddha, a king that is too old. Dirgharogi, a king that is afflicted with disease for a long time. Jnati Bhishkritaha, a king that is thrown out by his family. Bhirukaha, a cowardly king. Bhiru Janakaha, a king whose family is cowardly. Lubdhaha, a king who is greedy. Lubdha Janastatha, a king whose family or a king whose parivara, whose retinue is greedy, or whose inner circle is greedy. Virakta Prakritishchaiva, a king whose citizens or subjects do not harbor much love for him. Basically a king that is not loved by his people. Then Vishayesh Saktiman, a king that is overly attached to sense objects and experiencing sense objects, to bhoga, to luxuries. Aneka Chitta Mantrascha, a king who is all over the place when it comes to making plans and strategies. A king who is not focused and who is not zeroed in when it comes to strategizing. Deva Brahmana Nindakaha, a king that insults the Devatas and Brahmanas. Daivo Pahatakascheva, a king that has very bad fate. Daiva Chintaka Evaja, a king that is too dependent on omens, on it being the right muhurta. If the enemy is marching on you, you cannot wait to see if it is Ashwini, Bharani, or Rohita, Rohini, or Kritika and look for a good time to go do something. You need to be able to react quickly. But if the king is Daivopahataka, the king is Daiva Chintaka, he is always sitting there thinking that is this the right time or not, what is my fate like? He is a very easy king to conquer. Durbhikshavya Sanopetah, a king who is having to deal with famine in his kingdom. Then Balavyasana Sankulaha, a king that is having problems with the army. So if the army is rebelling in that kingdom, or if the army is not happy with that king you can directly march on. You don't even have to have peace treaties. Adeshastaha, a king that is not in the country at the time. If the king is on foreign tour, it will be very easy to just march in and conquer that kingdom. Bahuripu, a king that has many other enemies as well, not just you, but if he has many other enemies. Yukto Kalena Yaschayaha, Yukta Kalena Yascha, Yuktaha Akalena. So he who has fallen upon very bad times. So basically the kingdom, it is not that there is a problem, but the kingdom is just going through tough times. So such a king, yes Satya Dharma Vyapetascha, Yascha, Yaha Satya Dharma Vyapetascha, someone who does not follow Satya and Dharma, someone that does not follow Dharma. Vimshatif Purusha Ami Etais Sandhin Nakurvita. You should not do Sandhi with these 20 types of kings. Sakshat Vigrinhiyat to Kevalam, directly march on them, subdue them, conquer them, and win over them. That is what Kamandaka Niti Shastra is saying. So that is the Vimshati Vargam. Do you know? Are you keeping these 20 types of kings in mind? Tatha Prakriti Mandalam. Prakriti means the people of the king. So, what are the people? What make up the people of the king? Amatya, Rashtra, Durgani, Kosho, Dandascha, Panchamaha, Etah, Prakritayastajnyaih, Vijigesho, Udahrita. So, we have gotten this division before earlier, but we are getting it again here. So, the Prakriti Mandala, the group of people, the people that make up the state, that comprise the state, and the things that look after those people are Amatya, the ministers, Rashtra, the actual state itself, the land. Then Durgani, forts, Kosha, the treasury, Dandascha, the method of the judicial system. So the way that you mete out punishment to people that have transgressed the law. So these are the prakritis. So are you taking care of all of these? Then also yatra, danda, vidhanancha. So yatra means setting out, danda. Or are you keeping in mind how to set out for, we say danda yatra, right? More or less the same thing. Are you keeping in mind how to set out for war, how to move with your army, how to go to war, the formations that you need to have during war? Are you keeping all of those in mind? Vyoni, Sandhi Vigraho. Sandhi is having amicable relations with other countries. Vigraha, breaking off amicable relations with other countries. So basically, having belligerent relationships with other countries or stressed relationships. Are you keeping these two in mind? Kachidedan Mahaprajnayathavadmanyase. Are you looking after all of this? Lots of Rajaniti has come. Then मन्त्रिभिस्त्वं यथोद्दिष्टं चतुर्भिस्त्रिभिरेव वा कच्चित् समस्तैर्व्यस्तैर्वा मन्त्रं मन्त्रयसे मिथः. So, are you consulting with your mantris? How chaturbhistribhireva va, with either three or four, and how there are two ways you can do this. Vyastaihi samastairva. So let us say you're consulting with four. You can call all four at the same time, or you can call them one at a time. So you consult with Minister A, you let him go. Then you call him Minister B, you consult with him, then you send him off. Then you call him Minister C, you consult with him, you send him. You call him Minister D, you consult with him, you send him. So in this way, are you consulting with all your mantris, either one at a time or all at once? कच्चित्ते सफला वेदाः कच्चित्ते सफलाः क्रियाः कच्चित्ते सफला दाराः कच्चित्ते सफलं श्रुतम्. So he's asking, are certain things bearing fruit? Are the Vedas bearing fruit for you? Are all your activities bearing fruit for you? Are your wives bearing, or is your wife bearing fruit for you? And is your learning bearing fruit for you? What does it mean to bear fruit? It means to be useful, to generate the desired result. So what are the desired results of the Vedas, Kriyas, of the activities of the wife and of learning? There is a Subhashita that we need to get here. Agnihotra phala Vedaha, Agnihotra phala Vedaha, Sheela Vitta phalam Shrutam, Ratiputra phala Daraha, Agnihotra phalavedaha Shilavitta phalam shrutam Ratiputra phaladaraha Datta bhukta phalam dhanam. So what is the fruit of the Vedas? Are you doing proper karmanusthana? Are you leading a proper life and doing all the karmas that the Veda tells you to do? So the phala of the Veda is yajna, agnihotra. Then in the same way, this Shila Vitta Phalam Shrutam. By learning, the phala of Shruta, of your learning, of your education should be Shila, good character, and Vitta, money. Means you should be able to generate some income out of whatever it is that you have learned, but your learning should also give you samskara. You should be a refined person. You should be, an upright citizen. This should not lead you into depravity, into moral depravity. But your education should make sure that you come out a noble person. So the result, the fruit of learning is knowledge of learning is a proper character as well as income, money. In the same way, Rati Putra Phaladaraha, the fruit of a wife, you can say marital life, is Rati, happiness, and Putra, offspring, right? Santati, Praja Santati, to continue the Vamsha. So if your married life is Saphala, is fruitful, it means that the two of you are happy with one another, the two of you are very loving with one another, you genuinely have wholehearted love for one another, and you have had your children that will keep the Vamshachara and your lineage going. So and then in the end, in the Subhashita, they say Datta Bhukta Phalam Dhanam. The fruit of dhana, of having wealth, is to either experience it yourself or do dana, to do charity. Here, the fourth one they have given is Kachitte Saphala Kriyaha. Are all the things, or all the activities that you have set out to do, are they all bearing fruit? So mainly you say, okay, I want to construct a highway. Is that bearing fruit? Is the highway actually coming? And not just that, is the activity when finished yielding the expected result? So if you're building a highway, what is it supposed to do? It's supposed to ease traffic, right? It is supposed to ease, the congestion of travel. It is supposed to ease travel congestion. So if, for example, if you say building a highway is saphala, it does not mean that just the highway has been built. It means that the highway has achieved the intended effect. So that is what Rama is asking. Are the Vedas saphala for you? Are the Vedas yielding the expected result for you? Are your activities yielding your expected results? Are your daraha? So daraha is nitya pullinga bahuvachana, but it means wife. So is your wife yielding you the expected results, and or is your learning yielding you the expected results? Kachideshve buddhi yathokta maragha. So now the upasamharana is being done. Kechideshve buddhi yathokta maragha ayushyacha yashasyacha dharmakamartha samhita. So Rama is saying, Kachideteshu te buddhi yathokta. So your opinion to everything I have said so far, right? So whatever Rama has said in the last 72 shlokas, you are looking upon everything I have taught you about so far in the way that I have been saying, right? So in all of these issues, you have been looking upon them in the way that I have said, right? Yathoktahate buddhi kachita. And what is that buddhi? What is the fruit of that buddhi? Ayushya, it will ensure a long life. Yashasya, it will ensure you fame. So yashas is very specific. Kirti is fame. Yashas is fame that is born out of dharma. So some people are famous anyway, but some people are famous for being dharmic, or because of things they have done that is dharmic. Even in Raghuvamsha, Kalidasa says, Yashase Vijigishunam. The kings wish to conquer for Yashas, dharmika kirti. So in the same way, here, if your mind is set to all these aspects of kingship, of kingship, that I have said in the way that I have said, then it will definitely grant you that such a mindset or such an outlook will grant you a long life and great fame. And dharma kamartha samhita, it will ensure that you are bountiful in dharma, artha, and kama. And then Rama says, I have not come up with this. All the Rajaniti I have instructed you on, right? All the topics of administration that I have instructed you on, these are not sakapala kalpita. These are not things that I have, made up out of thin air. Yam vrittim vartate tatah yajanah prapitamaha tam vrittim vartase kachita yaja satpathaga shubha. So that path that has been walked by our father, that path that has been worked by our forefathers, that path that is Satpathaga, that path that is traversed by Satpathas, that path that is traversed by people that wish to walk the dharmic way of life. So are you going upon that path, that vritti? Are you conducting yourself in that way? Are you conducting yourself in the way that our father did? Are you conducting yourself in the way that our ancestors have? Are you conducting yourself in the way that that dharmic people conduct themselves in. So that is what Rama is asking. Kacchit, and then in the end, very nicely, he is asking something very human and very personal. Kacchit swadukritam bhojyam ego nashnasi raghava. Kacchit ashamsamanebhya mitrebhya samprechasi. The last thing Rama is saying is, if you have something nice to eat, are you giving it to all your friends? Hopefully, you're not eating it alone, right? Are you giving it to all your friends? Asham samanebhya. All your friends will be expecting you to give them some piece of the meal, right? Or some, if you have, I don't know. So even in prasada, right? If you go to Tirupati and we get 5 laddus, we will not have all 5 laddus ourselves. We will call people. We will call our dear people, our families, friends, and we will give them some of the prasada. Because ekaswaduna bunjita is something Viduraniti also. You should not enjoy good things on your own. See, this means food. Swadukritam bhojyam they have said. But bhojya actually refers to anything that is experienced. So any bhoga that you have, right? Any nice, good experience that you have, you should never have it alone. Any sukha that you have as a king should be distributed to those around you. So Rama is finishing with this because this is the pinnacle of kingship, right? Whatever Raja bhogas I have, because usually the king is the person with access to the most luxuries in the kingdom. Today, government officials, they will be having the access to the most luxuries in the kingdom. But if they are of the mindset that whatever I am experiencing needs to be felt by everyone around me, first by my near and dear loved ones, by my employees, and then eventually they should become so broad-minded as to say every single person in my kingdom should be happy. That is the greatest mentality that a king can have, which is why Rama finishes with that. And then Rama says, Raja to this is the last shloka. So generally the way it is in Kavyas, the entire Sarga or the entire Adhyaya will be in one chandas, 1 meter, and the last shloka will be in a different meter. So here, the entire Sarga has been written in Anushtup, and Valmiki Maharshi is finishing off with Upajati. Upajati. Raja tu dharmena hipalayitva mahamatirdandadharah prajanam avapya kritsnam vasudham yathavat itaschitah swargamupayide vidwan. So a king, Raja, dharmena palayitva, if he rules with dharma, mahamatihi, if he is intelligent, dandadharaha prajanam, if danda literally refers to the staff, but the staff refers to the, as we said, the judicial system. Proper punishments to people that have transgressed the law means upholding the law. If the king upholds the law properly, avapya kritsnam vasudham yathavat, he will obtain this entire earth. He will be able to attain dominion over this entire earth. He will be a very successful ruler. And itaschitaha, having left this body, swargamupayiti vidwan, he will attain swarga, he will attain uttama lokas. Iti Srimad Ramayane Ayodhya Kande Shatatamas Sargaha. So this is 100th Sarga. So this is the Kacchit Sarga. As we said, this contains the summation of kingship. And as we have seen in this session and in the last session, these are not things that are left for Treta Yuga. These are not things that are left for Ikshvaku Vamsha. These are not things that are left for Kshatriyas or for rulers. These are things that should be applied by governments to this day. These are even as I said yesterday, these are things, some of which even we can apply. For example, in a family, the father should be, as we said, right, the king should be looking after dharma, artha, and kama evenly. The same thing goes for the head of the house, or even for the house as a whole. When the mother and father sit down to discuss how the house should be run, both of them should be discussing dharma, artha, and kama fairly. And in the same way, they should be setting aside, as we said, kala vibhajya. You should set some time aside for dharmic pursuits, some time aside for artha pursuits, some time aside for kama pursuits. That should be done by a family also. So these bodhanas that Rama has done, that Mahavishnu, his Jagadguru, has done to us as Rama, these are not things that are separated or very distant in space and time. These are things that are very applicable for us here and now, and that will ensure that we also, as we said, evam vidha buddhihi ayushya yashasya. It will ensure that we also will have a long life, a fruitful life, and at the very least, we will be making the world around us a better place, and we ourselves will be calm. So these are the topics of administration, not just for Treta Yuga, but for Kali Yuga, not just for India, but for the entire world, not just for administrators, but for every single person that wishes to lead an organized, well-mannered, fruitful life, dharmic life. So with these few words, wishing you all once again a very happy Ramanavami, and offering my Sashtanga Namaskaras to the Padapadmas of Ubhay Jagat Gurus and to Jamavat Sugreva Hanumat Sita Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna Parivara Sameta Shri Ramachandra. I will take my leave with you. मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणात्मने चक्रवर्तितनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलं वेदवेदान्तवेद्याय मेघश्यामलमूर्तये पुंसां मोहनरूपाय पुण्यश्लोकाय मङ्गलम्